Welcome to tonight's episode of
Mythic Wyrd.
Alright. Last session. Where did we leave off? What happened?
The island exploded by the what was it? The chaos, not the warp stone. And we made a great escape. And then we was flying for a while until we reached the city of the, what was it called again?
The Skyport.
Skyport. That's right.
Well, we found your view and everything was great and harmony and peace bestowed upon us.
And then they lived happily ever.
And that's how it went down.
You guys wish.
My rope was dead.
Yeah. There was a lot of dead bodies.
The dead ships, remember, that you guys came across as well, just floating, dead, suspended. Their gravitational pulse is the only thing that's keeping them afloat.
That was like the shrewd bounty and the flying article.
And when we arrived, before we even grabbed our
Well done.
bearings and stuff, Haruka ran straight into the thick of it. Like a fool. But we all followed that fool.
What makes you fools?
Someone else take over. I can't remember.
Being of high altitude, we couldn't breathe very well, so we went into some sort of inside this place.
It's like a pressurized sector of like the place.
That one. And ultimately, we got to a point where there was a motor or something that runs it all, which Haruka fixed within 2 hours.
That was very important as well because we was all low in oxygen, and was that the motor that you fixed?
Yeah. The one that pressurized the room again.
Yeah.
Because we need it to get to the next area.
That's right. All the doors,
Down.
all the doors were locked down. The emergency lights,
Yeah.
the red lights were strobing.
Yeah, before that we saw that guy in the corridor, the guy that was banging his head. And he said something, I can't remember what he said. Oh, don't look at them. That's right, yeah. And then he had a knife to his throat, and as he was about to slip it, there was like the strobe of red lights. And it went dark and he disappeared.
Yeah, so you saw him cutting his throat, and then he fell to his knees. The lights came back on. He was like falling. They went off, went back on, and he was gone.
So creepy.
And then there was like footprints up the wall to a vent that was open. Before all that, Haruka did something really cool and got us all temporary oxygen masks.
Yeah, he did too.
It's cool.
The way that he did it was pretty cool too, by paying a debt. Oh, by
Yeah, I love
paying for
that.
the service.
Yeah.
That's it.
And now we both
Yeah.
So yeah, then you guys went to the generator room while Haruka worked on that. Björn put up his dome, I think.
Yeah.
Did you put it up before? Yeah.
Put up my extra dimensional place.
That's right, yeah. And that was finished. You guys got all back into the dome and you set it up again. Is that right, Björn?
Yes, I did.
There was a couple of encounters before he set up the second one though.
Yes, I had my throat ripped out.
That's right. So you guys were attacked by these weird, twisted... They were bodies of dwarfs that were twisted and stretched with extra arms with dark obsidian, almost like blades that protruded from their back. Jaws stretched, some of them broken and hanging low. They came at you guys from the vents, moving fast and attacking even faster before you guys put them down. And Kyla threw a firebolt at a pipe and exploded that section of the corridor, engulfing this weird creature in flames before Dario finished it off with an arrow to the eye. guys then got back in to the dome, where an argument.
I put it up in like a place closer to the entry. I hope.
Correct. Yeah, so he put it up in a room. Yeah. Where then an argument broke out between Harakai and Björn, while the rest of you guys pitched in a little bit. Obviously, things getting tense, emotions running high, fear starting to set in before there was a call from behind. Oh no, there was knocking on one of the bulkheads to the rooms, and I think Drea,
Smelt him.
yes,
To the panther or something.
correct, smelt a human on the other side.
Did Harakai open the door?
Yeah, it was Bjorn.
Oh,
Björn in anger smashed the button, revealing a figure armored in Quadran armor. Taller though and a little bit lankier than a dwarf,
Is that fucking you, Harakai?
is what he said before he thumbed his helmet, revealing young Jed, who since the last 6 months since you saw him, looks definitely older and more mature.
Like older than 6 months, or like he's seen shit.
Yeah, he looks like he's matured a lot in the 6 months. Remembering he's the oldest in the group, he's probably around 11, 12. So, young teenage boy, but maturity wise, he'd almost be like young adult, like 17, 18.
Is he like buffer? Like buff since we last saw him?
He looks buffer because of his armor,
Yeah.
because of the Quadran, plates and the helmet and stuff, and the power pack that's on his back. That makes him look more menacing, more larger. But probably take all of that off, he would be, scrawny teenager kind of, lanky Jed.
Yeah, does he look like 6 months has passed? Or is there like some special property in this place that makes him like
No,
does he look older like a lot? Has he changed?
He hasn't really changed physically, physically, like there are small things, bags under his eyes, his mustache is a bit more pronounced, his bum fluff. His bum fluff, yeah, I had a fucking mustache when I was 12.
We're Middle Eastern. Jed's Middle Eastern.
I had a moustache.
But it more just looks like his eyes are just more mature. It looks like he's seen shit.
Gotcha.
So maturity level, is he more mature than Kyla now?
He'd be about the same.
He's literally said one line to us, so he said a lot to assess for one line. Just out of curiosity, dwarven armor.
Yeah,
Because it's made out of aether gold, is it lighter
it is lighter. Yeah,
but strong, right?
correct. Yeah. All right. Did we miss anything?
Yes, pretty good. I think we got it.
All right.
Thalion and Bjorn are bloody, just so you guys know.
Yeah, and you guys haven't had a long rest or anything. Everyone's pretty spent.
We could have had a short rest though.
No, this all happened at the start of.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, you guys were
Just
still
like
talking. Set
10
up the
minutes
dome
in
and
the
yeah.
dome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So session 56. As the bulkhead grinds open, and Jed stands there, confused, looking at the opaque dome. He kind of shuffles awkwardly to one corner of the door, trying to see into the corner of the room. He's got a cutlass out and a pistol, as he just shuffles back the other way, and you guys are just all staring at him as he's just kind of shuffling back and forth.
As soon as Harakai recognizes that it's Jed, he's gonna sprint out the dome and just hug him.
As soon as you sprint out, it takes him by surprise. He raises the pistol up to your face, cocking it in one quick motion. Do you still go in and try to hug him?
Yeah.
All right. The pistol, like, you almost brush the pistol aside as it goes up, and you almost tackle him into a bear hug, as he's awkwardly, like, one arm up, one arm down, as you almost knock him to the ground. And he's just taken aback, yelling, and he's hitting you in the side with the hilt of his sword.
Valiant was close behind, and I just sort of hug both of them and tackle them to the ground, laughing.
What? Get off! Get off!
It's Jed?
Harukai?
I knew you wouldn't be dead. I knew it.
Thalion? Wait. And he tries to shove you guys off and like put his weapons between you guys, and he's like, how do I really know it's you? As he says, as he's like, kind of like on the ground, backing up.
Would anyone else here know about Athos?
Holy shit. Grungy, twist my beard.
What?
It really is you.
Look at you, boy.
He gets up slowly as he looks at you guys, puts his sword back into his hilt, uncocks the pistol, puts it on his chest, and just rushes both at you guys, trying to get you both into a hug.
Kyla wants to kind of join into this action too.
Where? How did you guys get on here? Where is everyone?
You've grown. Where's the others?
They're around.
All of them? You're all safe.
We are.
I knew it. And I slap Harukai in the back.
Kyla, good to see you.
I dropped the
So good to see you.
Hello, he says. Oh, he catches your eye first, and he gives you a massive grin before looking at you two, and he's like, Athos?
Wait. How do we know it's really you? I'm kidding, boy. Coming out.
He didn't make it.
Athos.
Oh yeah, he can.
No, it wasn't there.
He takes a second, and you can see that he's accepted death a lot over the past 6 months, it seems.
Oh, wow.
New friends, I see then.
Boy, it's really good to see you.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere safe we can go and talk?
Maybe inside this dome. If you all just stand there, I'm sure one of them will come around the corner any second now.
Oh, did you put the dome down?
No, it's still up. I can't leave it or it goes down.
Oh,
Can we get back in?
did you say you made it transparent?
Made it a bit more.
I made it transparent.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Can we get back in? Or can
You
he
guys can.
He can't.
There you go.
Yeah, Jet can't. I could. Fine, I could remove one of the rooms, let the hairless dwarf in, and I'll set it up again.
That'd be perfect.
Who's the prick, Harukai?
Would it take the whole 10 minutes, or like I just like scratch one of the rooms out and let it replace it or something?
It would take the whole 10 minutes again. I don't know, it's your spell was there.
I mean, yeah, it's
He's old as some.
Björn, you saved him.
Yeah.
more like they failed to take down the other chosen.
We've got a lot to talk about. Let's get to that later.
I'll lean into Jed. Let's just say, not like father, like son.
Right.
Come here, boy.
And the creepy girl with the cut up face and the lizard.
Okay.
That's an okay.
Guy has changed.
That's Drea.
Drea, as a fan, they're just gonna sit down and like bring a four up and stand back up.
And Az does the same on your back. And he's like, and the little dragon?
More importantly, that's us.
Okay.
Well, are you coming in or what?
Yes. Are we safe here?
Hurry
Is
up
it
then.
quiet?
It's safer.
Right. And he lets you guys lead him into the circle, into the room. Bulkhead closes behind you guys as he kind of awkwardly stands there looking around at you guys.
As soon as Jed's within range, you want to give him a hug.
And he gives you a massive tight hug around your waist. And he like pulls you in. My lord.
Shit shovel.
You were the last people I thought I'd see here. But boy, am I glad.
Yeah. So, what happened, Jed?
Where do I start?
Start from the beginning, when we left.
Right, so we dropped you off at Norska. And after that, the mission was successful to make it back to the island of nothing where we buried Aurum. After the funeral, we got, Urine got a distress call. Something about all ships needing a report back. He ignored it at first until a direct order came from Yville. So, reluctantly, we packed up. We were a bit sad not knowing where we were going, leaving you guys there, but he couldn't say no to the Admiral, so we headed back, and boy was it a shit show. All the clans were, things were tense, Harakai. Clans were not mixing, people angry at each other, and having us there only seemed to make it worse. I don't really know the full story, but it was probably about 2 weeks after we were at the Iron Cog, which is a pub between one of the two clans. And some dwarves from Baraka back, they tried to take us, me and the boys. Something about the Barrack still from being traitorous scums, bringing humans to the Skyport. And Urine, he angers fast. He turned around and he smacked one right in the face. Put him down on his feet instantly. On his back instantly. The fight broke up and we each went our separate ways. And then it was a few hours later when he was pronounced dead. And then shit got real weird from there.
Who was pronounced dead?
He's from Baraka back. He's the nephew of one of the admirals there. Brundy, he says. And you know him, Brundy is like a weasel of a character, always using, loopholes in the code, and his uncle being the admiral abuses that power to get away with a lot. And his own uncle, Hengtord, never liked him. He's just a weasel of a dwarf. And a troublemaker. As soon as he says that name, you're like, of course, that would be the person. Anyway, they locked themselves up for 3 days. No contact whatsoever to the rest of us. And on the dawn of the third day, all hell broke loose. Gods, it was crazy, Harakai. They came through the halls, they attacked us with ships. The whole place just went mad. Battle broke out everywhere. The skies, the city, underneath. For a week and a half straight, they didn't stop. The guns didn't stop. The place didn't stop shaking.
One clan versus the rest of them.
No, 3. Baraka back, Baraka Zun, and Barak on.
And what did they hope to gain?
I don't know, they were already mad before we got here. Something about Harakai going down with Galmaraz and Barak Zulfin trying to make friends with humans to overthrow the rest of the clans. Barak Rindo and Barak Den stood with Barak Zulfin. But the rest of the clans... Fuck, they were angry.
But this all started because of Grundy?
No, like I said, it was intense before I got here, but that definitely was the last straw.
Okay, and how about those freakish monsters?
Oh, that was after everything. There was a ceasefire called for 2 days. All clans have been almost destroyed. There was limited talks, and then on the night of the second day, the docks got overrun by the other clans, and they jumped. They took the realm jumpers and got the hell out of here.
Realm jumpers?
Yeah, they've got these ships. Apparently, can go to different realms.
Did they make it?
Well, I don't know. They disappeared, and after they left, that's when all of this started. The survivors just got weird, and they left, but something came in, Harakai. These things came in. It's like there was a tear in the void for a second, and Euron tried to explain it to me, but honestly, it's just fucked up.
Is Euron alright?
He's alive, but I wouldn't say he's alright. He's pretty bad, Harakai.
How? Where's everybody else? Are they bunkered down in the barrack hall, or?
Yeah. We got attacked though, and that's when I got split from the rest.
By who?
These things. And of course, knowing my luck, the doors closed up and sealed off the clan ship from the rest of the place, and I've been wandering here for about a day and a half until, oh crikey, I heard some noise, and now we're here.
How'd you survive for a day and a half on your own? That's
Being real quiet.
So they're attracted by noise.
Pretty much exactly what we did.
Everything. Smell, noise, I don't know, they're not like any of the goblins we've ever fought before. They're smart. They're always watching.
It's a hive mind.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Has there been any new buildings erected?
Any buildings? No, but
Black obelisk pointing to the skies.
yeah, I haven't seen it, but Euron said there was something weird going in the ship of admirals. A black stone, almost like a temple or something. Everyone is. We came across some Barak Zulfins that were out of it, and they at first they were alright, but then they got aggressive and they wanted us to see it, to the point where they started dragging us, and then they pulled out their weapons and Euron dealt with them.
Do I recognize
These actions.
Why listening to the voices of cats?
Make a insight check.
Insight.
Oh, investigation.
Check how many are still here before you got separated.
10? No. Oh, it was me, Yville, Urine, the boys, a couple other clans. I don't know where the rest of Giantsbane is. We got shot down probably 4 days into combat. Giantsbane crashed into the city. And there's survivors roaming around everywhere, but fuck, man.
Why doesn't anyone just leave?
What's the problem? Most of the women and children already left, took the able-bodied ships and got out of here when the combat first broke up. The rest of the ships are either too damaged or destroyed.
So what? It's survive and see how long you can last sort of situation.
Yeah, well, Urine's been trying to gather survivors, put a crew together so we can go through the city, find a ship to repair, and get the grungy out of here.
And go where?
Anywhere, just out of the city.
Where did the women and children go?
Urine said they were told to go on status, hover far away from the combat until they got radioed back to come back in, but all comms is dead. We haven't been able to contact anyone.
We always go down to land
How?
on their ships.
Give me the survivors.
Yes.
Yeah, they could have. I don't know.
I mean, surely they'd have limited food supplies.
I don't know.
Do you have any idea where the others could be?
Paris.
Urine?
Urine, Yavil.
Yeah, like I said, they're in the barrack den.
How far away is that from you?
So, I've been wandering for about a day and a half, so roughly a day, I'd say.
Oh, wow.
How'd you get separated, Jet?
When the attack happened, we were at the doors, we were coming back in, we just found a few more survivors. Urine was collecting some power cells, and then they pounced on us. And like I said, they're smart, they know what they're doing. They attacked something, breaking off the power to the ship. The doors, in response, slammed shut. I was on the other side, the rest were in. And I ran like hell. Do you have anything to eat?
Do I have anything to eat?
Yeah, I don't know if I've been keeping track of my rations, I don't know.
Get some rations. If you don't know.
Yeah.
Urine made me this sweet armor, by the way. The boys got some too.
Oh, really?
We look good.
Sure do. I do have some rations, so give him a day's worth.
Grungy bless you, he says. As he takes it, you can see the way he talks, the words he's using, even the way he's pronouncing his ways. He's taken a lot of dwarf habits.
That's it. That's it fun.
And he just takes the food from you and just smashes it down.
Come a long way, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we have. Ken's lost an ear, but
Shoot.
he's alright.
Not from the explosions, I hope.
No, but we got shot at quite a bit, and missed his head by inches.
Oh, thank God.
Aye.
Dario lost an eye.
Oh shit. Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but suits you.
Thank you. We didn't get shot at.
I know it's not as important, but my hair's still growing back.
Oh. Looks good. God, I've missed you guys.
Us too.
Oh, right. We gotta get back to the others. That's for sure.
Any idea how, Harkai?
Well, I've just reopened the pressure in this sector, so we should be able to put a gas to the next area, and then
Next sector's all down though.
guess we'll have to repair that too. There's not much else that can be done.
We can breathe okay now, can't we?
Yeah.
Only in this sector.
So you know though, in the next sector, which is the main sector of Barracks Ilfin, if the power has been lost, then the power needs to be connected back from the Admiral ship, which is like the main power source, back up to Barracks Ilfin sector, which is a big task. And you know, will take. It's possible, but you know there will be multiple things that need to be done in unison to reconnect that power.
Aragai, is it better we go back to the airship? There's got to be an easier way in.
Because is the den like on the top level?
No, it's in the middle, closer to the bottom.
Are there
And-
docks around there?
Yeah, plenty of docks that you can dock, but like I said, when you guys were coming, most of them are destroyed, so it'd be hard to find somewhere to dock safely. But then, if that is the case, you guys would, if you find somewhere safely to dock, the rest of the ship would be sealed off, like you'd be able to dock. But if, because you know, like it's designed in a way where, again, same with this sector, if something like a catastrophe happens, you know, the sector's sealed off to not let anything in or not let anything out, depending on where it is.
Yeah.
And these bulkheads to the clan den would be like massive.
Would there be anything I could do to free up them then from the other side?
Connecting that power will.
Yeah, but that would take like ages.
I mean, there's always the vents, Jed says, and he looks up.
I don't think that's a good idea. We just saw him crawling through the vents.
Yeah. So have we.
The others, are they barricaded in? Are they?
I don't know, like I said, the door's closed. We were barricaded in there. We had a nice little setup, fortifications put up.
What stops them?
What stops them? Hacking them to fucking bits. They don't seem to feel pain. They just keep coming.
Just examining Jed. Did you say he's still got the suit on?
Yeah.
It does. Does he look like he's injured or anything?
Doesn't look like he's injured, but there's definitely battle damage on like the suit. Like he's definitely been in a few fights.
How does it infect an individual? I'm coming in, we saw a dwarf. Still alive. Barely. Until they split his limbs and turned into that beast.
Wait, he did say, "Don't look at it."
Yeah, that's what they've all been saying. But they were saying that as they were dragging us to go look at it. It's almost like they're in two minds. They're saying that, and then they're telling us we have to see it. They're telling us how incredible it is, how breathtaking.
The obelisk.
Aye. I'm guessing they take him there, and I don't know. We've steered clear of it so far. Like I said, we're just trying to gather some numbers and supplies to go out in force.
So all who visit the obelisk eventually become one of those.
Or they come out droning and trying to get more people to go see it, and then out of nowhere they stretch and contort, and Grungy, it's foul.
Would the adrenaline adrenaline dying down a bit, Sally's just going to sit against the wall and start sort of ripping up his shirt and sort of bandaging himself up a bit, and maybe even drifting off a bit. He's pretty exhausted.
Yeah. But with the condemned here now, I'm sure you guys can sort it out, right? He says, like, hopeful.
Yeah. By the way, we've got Condemned's changed a lot, so we've got a new name. We go by the Fate Chosen.
The Fate Chosen.
What do you think?
I don't know. Condemned just reminds me of the others. As he trails off.
Well, look, we're pretty beat up, so I think we'll rest here for a bit, regain our strength, and then go from there. If that sounds alright. How are you? Are you okay?
Yeah. He looks over himself and is like, do you have more food though? And you can see like his looking at Johto, he's in Caradrum armor, but then underneath that he's got one side is like an undershirt of blue, the other side is white, representing the Barrack Sylphin colours. His weapons have been tailored to him, and you can see his cutlass is powered, and the pack on his back is aethermite gas that he is used to power it, probably like some kind of electricity on his sword or something, and everything's been tailored to fit him. But it looks like he's been in that for, weeks. Smells like it too.
Sure. Here, take a ration. Let's get you cleaned up. And I'm gonna give him a ration, and then I'm gonna go and start unharnessing the armor.
Off him?
Yeah. Look, you can't stay in this forever. It chafes.
Yeah. I know what you mean. And he reaches down one hand and is rubbing the inside of his thighs.
Looks like you gained their favor. They don't do this for many people.
Yeah, well, Urine was pretty mad when they tried to take us, and said he couldn't keep watch on us all the time, so yeah, got us all suits done, and he's a grumpy bastard, but I think there's some heart in there.
Yeah, me too.
Yavil speaks highly of you.
That's good. So, which clans attacked Barrack Sylphin again?
Between mouthfuls, he's like Barrack Ozum, Barrack On, and Barrack Back.
Has the fire between each other ceased?
Yeah, well, they're out of here, or at least most of them. There's still some that patrol these halls, and skirmish will break out every now and then across the city, but I think everyone's trying to keep quiet, keep low.
Alright, well, you rest up.
Are we just going to stay here?
Yeah, this dome is pretty handy. No one can get in, I don't think, and as you probably know, it's opaque from the outside.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's not a concentration spell, is it?
As this is happening, Drea just wants to nudge everyone into a little 5-foot radius thing, and then she's gonna turn back into Drea and cast a healing spirit.
Jed screams as you morph back into Drea, pulling out his cutlass and his pistol, and he's like, "Shit's one of them!"
No, don't shoot it. Don't shoot her.
It's
Sorry.
Andrea. Anyways, this is Cressida. Cressida is gonna heal you guys. Yep. So you guys get 2d6 4 times.
What?
Wait, what? What did you say?
So, like, as Dre is pushing you onto a 5-foot radius, she summons a healing spirit.
Yeah.
It's like this really thin, almost like fairy with pointed ears, wings, and she's
Jed
like,
turns to her.
Cressida, Jed, yeah. Cool.
She's still new, mate.
So is Cressida.
Where's your face cut up?
Battle scars?
That's badass.
Thank you! I thought so too. Yeah.
See my tattoos.
Just takes off his shirt.
Yeah,
Whoa.
What level?
Yeah?
What level?
3. So everyone in
That's
the
cool.
area gets to roll a 2d6 4 times. And heal.
2d6 4 times.
Wow.
Wow. That is
So
so
you roll
Crazy.
and we all feel the same, or everyone rolls their own?
I think everyone rolls their own. Because, like, I'm not with it, it just says when the player goes in that area.
Sweet.
Dang, that is.
Thank
Yeah.
you, I've been waiting to use this.
That's awesome.
That's really strong.
So you said 4d6?
So 2d6 but 4 times. Roll it 4 times.
So 8d6.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I got 33.
Dre's just like, please hurry up, I can't concentrate for long.
36.
She's only 1 minute.
I'm back to full.
Yeah, I'm on full.
31. I got 31.
And everyone else is full, yeah?
That is such a nifty spell.
Yeah.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
Oh,
So I think I'm on 53 if I come out right.
You on how much
Yep.
do you heal? Sorry.
31. Yeah, it's
31,
53.
32. Oh, no, so it's
31.
We still got a long rest.
That's new.
Thank you. I met her along the way. Cressida.
And she only thought now to bring her out.
Well, I can't really summon her without my pants now.
Okay.
Also, we're getting attacked by those things. Can anyone, like, does anyone know what that is?
I'm sorry, summon?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's incredible. How do you...
Thank you. I am quite phenomenal.
How do you do that? I'm kind of just wondering, like, if you can do it now.
So, what are those things?
Jed throws down his weapons and sits down with a sigh. Puts his back on the wall. Yeah. What are those things, Haruka?
Don't know. And while all this has been happening, Harakai's kind of.
Beyond's on 53.
Sure.
Beyond's on 53.
Yeah, Harakai's kind of zoned out. He's got his goggles on, and he's taking Jed's armor and casting mending on it. But you see, as he's doing it, he's like kind of just spaced out and he's kind of just hammering it, not really like focused on it. He's just absent-minded.
We killed one, right? Just outside of the chamber room.
The one that's scorched?
Yeah. I would like to open up the door and see if the corpse is still there.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
You guys, I'm just trying to remember the map.
So we're over here in this chamber, and there was a hallway to here, hallway here, and a hallway there.
Yes. Jed came from this
That's
way,
right, yeah.
The camera this way.
And then this is where we went.
Yeah,
The
so-
door pretty much fills up that area.
Yeah, so you open the door, the fire is still smouldering at the end of the hallway, and you do see the crumbled body of the one that was killed. The second one was killed.
How far away is it?
Be about 100 feet from you.
100 feet? Alright, let me just check something.
I think it's 60 feet. Can you refresh yours? For some reason I haven't updated mine. I think so.
See if we can read mine. 60 feet?
Can I do either an insight or an investigation check with, obviously, with Drea? I don't know if she would have had anything of this, but
Oh, more than 60 feet.
Investigation or
Yeah, that's
insight?
what it is,
Your choice.
insight.
Cousin.
Yeah.
God damn it. Daria. dragon in here. Look, I do it, but I can't leave the dome.
Can I?
Is
Why?
Well, you
your
want to learn what
lock
it is, right?
in here that we're in?
In the room,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
mm,
you saw the others out there.
little crusted drops. Yeah.
Is there any near the vents?
Sending Dario by himself.
Not that you can
100
see, no.
feet.
I'm pretty quick. I've got one eye, 2 legs.
Oh.
Right.
Doesn't matter, Kyle. Don't worry. I'll keep a weather eye out.
Dario kind of gets in like a running position, just at the edge of the dome. When you're ready.
I'm not going.
Well, like talking to Bill, like to give me a signal.
Oh. Yes. Come on then.
I run towards the
Alright.
monster.
I'm already a spell if I see anything.
Were you going by yourself?
Yeah, just go for a quick run.
You got a ready cantrip if I see anything.
Just don't.
All right. So you push off the ground,
And I'm holding my rapier.
your feet hitting the metal grates hard, echoing through the long hallway.
Oh my god, he's such an idiot.
Need. Who's looking out? You're working.
Yeah.
You guys are looking out. What are you doing, Drea? And you're sleeping. Okay, so I need you 3 to make a perception check. As
Wait, couldn't you do
Can
stealthily?
Dario even bring it in?
he said, he's running.
I'm
Putting
running
things
stealthily.
in.
If you're running stealthily, you can make a stealth check with disadvantage, though.
Well, they used to be a dwarf, surely you could drag it away.
Oh no. Not awesome.
Sorry, what check was it?
Well, I mean, no. If you're running, you can't stealth it. Like your boots are going to be hitting the ground hard.
Oh.
Could you do the part
So
I have leather shoes.
No, I've got no spell slot. I've got 1 spell slot.
Was it a perception check?
Yeah.
11.
Can I go sleep?
You're going to go slow. So it will take you longer, but you'll be quieter, obviously.
I have a really good idea when you do bring it in.
Yeah, I'll go stealthily.
All right. Make a stealth check.
Dario's smarter than this.
As soon as I signal to you, you run back, alright? And I said that through a message in your head.
You just see him coming.
You can't message us.
Oh wait,
120.
Disadvantage or
Yeah,
advantage?
that's right.
Or normal?
You're going to full sneak it. You go normal if you're sneaking it.
That'll
I've,
count.
I've readied Mind Sliver, yeah? Ames?
Yeah.
23.
Oh,
Oh nice.
Nice.
What level is monster that one?
It's cantrip.
Oh yeah. That's such a cantrip.
So,
I've already fireball. And
You can reach it, so.
hey,
You can reach that distance, I can only do 60 feet with Mind Sliver.
so 2, 6.
the car is giving you like a greasy look. Fireball!
Oops, hang on.
What does a greasy look
Like, like,
Can you just move that book for a second?
yeah.
ready?
What's that?
Just
Move your book for a second.
That one time he did turn himself greasy.
All right.
So
So, what'd you get?
23.
And what was the perception checks?
I got 11.
Oh, I didn't roll it.
What's your perception check, Cody?
Perception?
3.
Yeah, you got
3 for your perception, Bjorn.
Yes, because I am very.
Natural one.
natural 1. Plus 2.
All right. So, how are you sneaking out? Describe it to us.
Alrighty, so Dario slowly puts his foot down like any sign of a creep.
He's dead.
It's not even out the door. He's like, puts one leg out, just goes.
Just grab the foot. Any sign of a creek, he'll like almost like feel it with his foot till he can find the best passage.
Yep.
Looking for like the sturdiest path, avoiding any sign of like anything that could be like crumpled or
Yep.
just kind of like watching out for vents any like darker areas.
Nice. 23? We'll just thought check.
23.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
You guys all watch tensely as Dario slowly moves down the hallway, pausing every now and then just to look around, make sure the coast is clear, picking his path. He gets about halfway. Before... Who got the 11?
I did.
You see in the vents above him, it's hard to tell in the light, but you swear in one of the closed vents, between the grates, like between the lines, something slowly moved past.
I'm gonna message Dario immediately. Dario, they're above you.
I freeze and I look around. Slowly.
Nothing.
Can I get the feeling? Like, do I have the feeling I'm being watched by something else?
With that perception check, no. To keep going?
And how far away from it am I?
You're about 50 feet.
Recast, ready, firebolt, and then I'm gonna say to everyone that there's someone above Dario out there, or there's someone out there.
When you say that, Haruka, who's kind of zoned off, just stops and turns. What the hell? What is he doing? What are you doing?
Ask beyond.
Yeah, and I hear Dario. You say.
Oh yeah, the audio's out. It doesn't block audio, does it? Oh yeah, that's right.
Oops.
With Harukai's shout, you guys, and you hear something scraping directly above you. That stops when you stop, and you guys all hear the scraping sound, and then it stops above Dario.
Can I just say when Harukai yelled, I wake up?
Mm-hmm. Jed's up and he's got his pistol. His mouth's still full of food. As behind you, Harukai. Something definitely heard you.
Okay, Harakai's got out his musket. He's like, get him back. Message him.
What are you doing? Keep going?
Yeah. Can you just tell me when I'm just 20 feet away?
You're within 20 feet now.
Yeah. I summon.
Okay, so you're ignoring warnings to come back.
Like, we have a monster in Dario's mind. We have a monster hunter. The best way to find out how to kill this thing is to get him to have a look at it. So he knows it's risky, but he sees.
You've definitely heard something above you as well.
Can I just say when Thalion gathers his senses, works out what's happening, he's gonna run up to Dario.
Run?
No.
Somebody hold him back.
What's he
forcing the
doing?
smell.
And I'll go to
Okay,
You
Thalion's
straight-
pushing
straight
past
up.
you guys
Come
to
on.
run out.
Wait. Alright. How far away from it?
20 feet, and you can hear Thalion's thunderous feet running up behind you. Good.
I'll quickly react.
Dario, come back now!
I'll summon my unseen servant
As
60 feet away from me,
Mm?
and I'll get it to start like punching the wall to make noise.
sorry, as
What's your unseen
as
servant's
he
name?
steps out to run after Dario, Kyla's just gonna quickly cast Mage Armor
On who, Thalion?
on Dario.
Okay, so
I've
your
got
firebolt's not ready then.
I've got mage armor.
You got Mage Armor?
Alright, so
So don't do it.
you start casting it as Thalion's heavy footfalls just echo through the hallway, and all stealth is gone. You're casting it as you hear the vents creaking above you, And do you look up?
Yeah.
There's a vent directly above you. And as you look up, you can just see the twisted, contorted face of one of these things. And you don't have time to scream as it pushes through the vent and with
How far is it?
directly above him.
How far from me?
He's 80 feet.
Do I reach him before this?
No. You would be... What's your movement?
45. Oh, sorry, 40 feet.
So you'd be
I'm
40
gonna
feet.
send my fireball as he reaches. I know I said I would cast Mage Armor, but he said he would
Okay,
cast
well, you make an
Mage
attack roll. This thing breaks through, and it just swipes at you with one of its talons.
I had my thing on.
Alright, whoever's got an action ready, go.
Because I said I had my.
Natural 20!
Oh, shit. Well, I was gonna say I had my rake in my hand and I was gonna.
Armor. Oh no, I don't. I can't change it with Ben. Like I'm out.
Well, I got 16.
16 hits.
Alright, let's go. Okay, I got 19.
19 hits.
Do I get a reaction?
This is your own fault.
What can you do as a reaction?
Well, I don't have a reaction, but like if like Dario, he'd either like take a swing or he would try and jump to the side to avoid it.
You can make a dex saving throw.
Okay. 10 damage on the first shot, and then second shot.
Are you getting this one?
Is a 11? Oh wait, sorry. Not 11, 14.
I also got 14 fire damage.
Sweet.
14 fire damage, and you got 10 and then 11 damage.
No, 10 damage and then 14 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 14 hits.
Alright, cool.
Wait, how many shots are you taking?
2. The first one did 10 damage, and then I'm wrong. The second one.
You can only take one shot. It's a...
I get 2 attacks per action. I don't know. That's how we did it last time.
What do you do in a reaction? Do you attack twice or just attack once?
No, I just thought I was
Once there's a
holding
reaction,
my
but hit
action.
ready in action.
Okay. Alright. Attack twice.
12 points damage.
Well, what'd you get for your dex saving throw? Alright. So you guys just see this thing push half its body out, stretched and contort as it swipes at Dario, getting him straight through the chest. I didn't even roll for damage for you.
Damn it.
And at the same time, boom, 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 it's hit with a firebolt and shot twice, right in the middle of its body, and it just it completely ignores the pain.
Jesus, that's spooky.
Sorry, I just gotta remember. Oh yeah. Alright, so in that attack, it does. So that was a critical hit. It does 26 points of piercing damage.
Shit. 26.
And you guys watch in horror as it pierces him straight through the chest, and just as fast as it came down, it lifts him up and disappears into the vent.
Oh no.
You guys hear Dario screaming as this thing crushes at extreme speeds through the vent away from you guys before you hear it disappearing down one of the corridors, and everything falls silent.
Shoot, what the hell?
Can I just say the only thing in the ground would just be my
Yeah.
Wait.
You were in a hut?
Yeah, remember I got the skeleton's hat. Is when you think.
Dario has disappeared.
What?
Was
Probably like
Shoot. Harukai is just running down the hall now with Thalian.
Can I reach the vent?
You can reach it now. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Oh, in height, sorry. No, you would need a boost up to reach it.
in the time that we're in that down, we have been able to take a short rest.
You would have spent a full hour in there, yeah.
Does the vent keep going straight?
It continues straight, and then breaks off down to a corridor. But you guys heard it crashing down the corridor to the right. But the vent also continues straight.
Sorry, how much damage you took?
What do we do?
26, so 140.
When Harukai ran out, Kyla's just gonna observe any other signs of movements. She's gotta go on Overwatch essentially.
Alright, make a perception check, but it is loud as Thali and Harukai are just stomping through the corridor now, chasing after.
Can I, because the corridor is quite narrow, can I
Mhm.
like all bounce off the
Make an
thing
athletics
catch?
check.
I just want to go to
An
sleep
acrobatics
for
check,
8
sorry.
hours before we do something stupid. 18.
Don't say anything else.
Athletics or acrobatics?
It would be a strength-based thing, so go
Athletics.
Athletics, yep.
Yes, sure. 25.
25. You bounce, kick off, run up one wall, kick off it, and you can kick off it high enough to grab onto the ledge and pull yourself up there. Do you want to go into the vent?
Yes.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
God damn.
Sorry, so the vent goes down and then turns right, and then there's another door.
Yeah. Do you guys want me to put map out?
Yeah.
So
This was
when I go in there,
happening
do I
so
see
quick.
Dario or this
No.
thing? Damn it.
So let's just ignore these. So you guys were straight. You know, you guys were like probably back here, and you heard it thundering down that side.
Is there another corridor this side? or
No.
is it-
It does
It's
continue
just
straight though. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's the T section. Where's my T sections?
Um,
T section. Can you just replace that one for me, please? Take this one out. Thank you.
How's that go?
Thank you. And put that on the other side. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Holy shit. I was not expecting to drag him up there.
As Harakai's running past, he's just gonna shout to tell him, "We won't be able to chase him in the vents, quick!" And then he's going to, as he's running past, activate his rocket boots, or attempt to activate his rocket boots, and continue down this corridor to where he's sort of.
Okay, roll. What are the rest of you guys doing? Your one's in the vent. Harukai is disappearing around the corner. What's the rest of the party doing?
Kyla's taking a deep breath.
It's no time for deep breaths. They're running. What's
God
happening?
damn it. Beyond.
Alright.
You're not that calm. Bien, man.
Yeah, and then I run.
Are we initiative?
No.
When I lift myself up and see I can't see Dario and Harukai runs under me saying, "No, I'm going to drop back down."
Okay. The one thing you do see though is the vents are lined with this weird mucus, organic, almost like tree vines, but they're like veins.
Yeah.
And you reach up there and it's all sticky with like blood and mucus, and it's like, it's all over the walls, and it's alive, and it's almost like it's pumping something through.
Oh, jeez. How big are the vents?
They would be tight. You wouldn't be able to stand up there, and you'd have to prone and like army crawl.
And with these things, it'd be even tighter again, I'd assume.
Yeah,
With the-
but you know, with these creatures with the amount of hands and things, they can obviously grab and just.
So are you chasing after it? Yeah.
What about you?
When this happens, Ray is going to also try and run, but she's going to try and grab Dario's hat and swipe a bit of his blood on it.
And what?
Swipe a bit of his blood on it.
Okay.
For like
What about Jess? What's
Which
Jess
I
doing?
sent you.
Jed's in horror at the moment, looking at you guys. Whoever's left.
I'm going to run. He's not running.
And Kyla, you've run? Okay, he's looking up at you. He's like, the fuck?
When I do that, I want to run back though to the dome.
What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I
What the
summon
hell
Gaia.
is he doing?
Summon Gaia. And jump on and go. Unless you want to. Because if I leave, the dome goes.
Yeah.
So.
Are we running? Are we running? Jed's like panic putting back his armor on, smashes his helmet on, pulls out his weapons.
Yeah, we get on Gaia.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, what did you get?
I got 23, so they're activated.
Okay. So how far do you go that way?
I'm dashing, so 90 feet.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm chasing Harukai.
So you've dropped out of the vent and you're chasing Harukai? Kyla?
I'm
Put your models down, guys.
If I've been caught up to Thalion yet, then I'm chasing them. How far am I from Thalion? I think it's stupid what we're doing right now, by the way, because we're just like, oh, one of us is kidnapped, let's all run separately.
Vega's the one.
Is this where the dome is?
Alright, for the ease of this, let's make each square 90 feet. Can you extend that for me?
Would Dari be able to, like, while he's being pulled, to, like, kind of grab onto the van, like, stab with the rapier, try and slow it down, or
Your rapier's on the ground, actually.
You
You've
want
dropped
this
your
over here
rapier.
too?
like, could I, like, grab onto anything? Or just, no?
The world just spinning around you right now as you're stabbed through the chest and you're being violently dragged into the, like, and it's dark in there. And it's slippery as fuck everywhere. So each one of these is 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90. So you guys are here.
Do you want that, Jay?
That's me.
Oh, that's you.
I ran out before they did. Where would I be,
Thank you.
you reckon?
Sorry, where are you? You've just ran out?
No, I ran out before they did.
Okay, so you would be about here.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well, are you just running this as a human?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm not gonna run out. The blood in the room, is there any that looks like the blood of theirs? Or is it just...
no, it just looks like human or dwarfish blood. Okay, so you guys are all sprinting out. Carla's sprinting. Are you guys keep going? You guys can't
Can
even.
we hear the vent?
You can't even hear it anymore. Like it was so fast that by the time you would have got to here, you would have heard it just disappearing in the distance. Before that spirals off to rooms and corridors.
What are we doing, Harakai? I don't know.
You guys keep running. Are you going straight, or is the rest of the party chasing the other guys?
Chasing them.
All right, move your models up to the side of that corridor.
As I'm chasing, I want to message Dario to see if he.
What's the range of that?
I think it's 120.
He's out of range.
I'm gonna continue.
Alright, as we're running, so I'm gonna pull out my trident.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just throw it at the vents at random intersections as
Alright.
we go past.
Oh, you're gonna get more.
Make an attack roll.
Wait.
What are we doing?
21.
Your thing goes straight through the vent, piercing a hole through it. Nothing. The only thing is you get drenched in this mucus. Like if you do it straight above you, it just this biomass from the veins that you've cut just spills out in a putrid mess.
As Drea and, like, I'm with Bjorn, as we get up to here, I just want to tell Bjorn, it's a stupid idea, but I think if we cover us in their blood, they won't smell us.
Is Harukai and Talion, are you guys still going down?
Sound that.
Yeah. It's up to you. I'm following you, yo. I don't
Right.
know this place.
We won't be able to catch it, right?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Harakai, who's been just legging it, he's just gonna slow down to a walk, and he's just going to put his hands on his knees and just bend down, panting.
Which way? Which way?
He's going to. We won't be able to catch him.
No! I'll turn around. I'm gonna punch the wall. Which way, Harakai?
We won't be able to catch him.
We can't just leave him.
The punch echoes through, shaking the corridor that you guys are in, and just echoes through this whole sector.
Do we catch up to him?
You guys catch up. And as that happens, you guys, all in the vents around you guys, hear movement echoing back through them.
We can't stay here.
All the noise and commotion is drawing a lot of them.
Let's head to a place where I can set the dome up again. Need time. We can't do anything for Dario now.
Closer.
Alright.
Which way? Which way?
Back to the room.
Go back.
All right, you guys sprint back, closing the bulkhead behind you guys, and you immediately get to work setting back up the thing. I'm presuming you guys are gonna, when you get in the room, what's happening? Are you guys yelling? Are you shouting? Are you
I'm
what's?
just gonna immediately jump off Gaia, how to guard the entry point that we came in from, and then just really start just going around and putting the thing.
The rest of you guys, are you screaming? Are you shouting?
No.
What's?
What was he doing?
Valiant.
What is going on?
Valiant.
Where is he?
Oh my god, this guy.
His voice echoes through, and as you guys watch in horror, put that and then put that like that at the end of it. In the middle of that room, you see the vent tear open, and one of these drop. Can you put them in the middle of the room?
So is this still 10 feet each?
Yep. It crashes through the vents and picks itself up, spreading out its arms and its contorted body before it hunches down low and just starts running towards you guys, screeching as it uses its pincers on the ground and on the walls to lurch itself forward as it kind of runs on the wall and then on the ground and then back up the other side, coming towards you guys. There's a bulkhead there. That is currently closing.
How
Maybe
wide
time.
are these
You want us, you
corridors?
fucking abomination!
I'm gonna get Gaia to tackle Thallion.
Okay, make a strength check, a contested strength check, and move that one 6 squares up. And everyone roll initiative.
What's a contested strength? You just roll a natural 20 and add the strength?
Yeah.
Yep, and you roll yours against hers.
How wide are these corridors?
20, 30.
5 feet.
I got 4 for my initiative.
Nice. I rolled a natural 20 just then as well.
Natural 20, Gaia got natural 20.
I got 20. Does she have strength?
Plus 2. That's a natural 20, so.
As Thallion runs past it, Gaia grabs at his leg and just pulls with all her might. Like, he runs past it, she grabs him and she pulls this way,
If I set up the dome
Knocking him
you can't get back in.
down to the ground inside the
Elliot
bulkhead.
is fucking annoying.
How?
And I just yelled that out. I'm like, nobody leaves this room while I'm setting up the spell. Buy me time. Range. Kyla. Guns.
So you need 10
I'm like talking, but I'm focused and I'm like pulling runes and placing them on the ground.
So is that 10 rounds that you need?
Yeah. No, he needs 100 rounds.
Yeah, 10 rounds is 1 minute.
We can go 100 rounds.
Can you cast it faster if you use the spell slot?
I don't have any.
Alright, everyone, initiative?
We have to do this thing.
I got 5.
I got 4.
So you can 2 6.
My heart is beating so fast right now.
Let me know when you want initiative.
Alright. Ray at 5. Karakai.
22.
Okay, 22. Kyla is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Bjorn.
I got a 17. And Gaia got a 21.
So these are 5 feet wide. How tall is the how tall is it from the roof?
It'd be about 30 feet. Or 20 feet, 25-ish.
Shit, that's really tall.
Did you say it was climbing on the walls? Or
Yeah, like all over the place. Like on the walls, and then it's on the ground, and then... Sorry guys, give me 2 seconds, I just gotta find it. How are you all feeling?
I need this.
A little bit nervous.
So what's your new character gonna be?
Damn, that happened quick.
The zombie guy.
Not happy.
What the fuck is happening?
Should come back.
Yeah,
Probably that age from the sun.
Oh, come on. Regardless of what I did, that thing was dropping down on him.
These things are the worst.
Alright, so telling everyone to stay in the room and hold it off with range while they try and barricade the door.
Remember, this room has 4 doors to it as well.
Can they be shut?
4 doors.
So these are all closed at the moment.
Can't they be locked?
They can be, but if you guys remember from last combat,
Is there anything that we could use to barricade them?
nothing directly in the room unless you guys have something on you. Feel free to do what you can to survive.
I'm frozen. Right. Stop fucking rolling natural 20.
You have loaded dice.
I think I do.
What website did you get from?
DMloadeddice.com. Howtofuckupyourplace.com. Alright. So, all the initiatives in. Where am
Did we do a
I?
short rest at one point? Nope, we did. No, we did last game, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think so.
Bitches?
I don't think so. I was asking Alton, he said no.
No, you did because I did my rope trick.
No,
And
not,
then
not
the
in
last
this
game.
room, in the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
other.
And your master. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Alright. So, as this thing comes bounding towards you guys, absolutely terrifying. Haruka, you're up. And guys on deck.
So are each of these 10 feet?
Each of them are 10 feet, yep.
How far did he just move? He just moved.
Yeah, 6 squares.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Harakai's just going to run in there and he's not going to try and take a shot at the actual thing. He wants to take a shot at just in front of where he's heading, just to try and slow him down, less than actually hurt him.
You're better off probably just shooting him. Or are you saying you can't reach?
Shoot the.
Well, he's about 400 feet away as well at the moment.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even be able to shoot him.
If you shoot like. We could do what we did before. If you shoot like a gas cannon.
Yeah, this is where your
Remember,
600 feet would have been
this is
perfect.
closing. This will be closed at the end of the round.
Probably
Each square is 10 feet.
no.
Okay. You said it's closing at the end.
Oh, wait, sorry, I
Yep.
think I counted and then doubled it.
It's less than 2. He's just gonna
Sorry,
run
sorry,
away.
I think I counted and doubled.
Yeah, I still want to be able to get it, I think. So. Yeah. Where am I?
Remember, you can hold an action if it's when he gets in range.
Okay, Arakai's gonna move. Can you move
Okay.
him 45 feet?
They're 10 each.
Yeah, but he
It takes
hasn't
10
finished
minutes
casting
to
it yet.
cast it, yeah.
Well, we can have to kill this guy.
Where do you want it?
I just want to 20, 30. Okay, just put me there.
But the door's still closed.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back in. Have
You can open it, like to let us in. It doesn't lock down.
Right.
How are we going to buy you time if he's right on us?
140.
Did I ever give you a potion?
No.
Okay, sweet. And then
What's that say?
Exhaustion. I keep forgetting.
sorry.
Oh, there's a giant phone drops down.
Yeah, Harakai's just gonna shoot it. Go for the legs.
Go ahead.
So disadvantage. 2, so 10.
10 miss isn't its EC. No, it's not. It misses.
Alright, second shot.
So can we nominate body parts to shoot at?
You said you've seen a video, didn't you? Yeah, there is a way. I'll say if do you remember briefly how it worked? You said it was good.
Yeah, so briefly, you nominate a part, and then you roll with disadvantage against it, and it's set, so it's a challenge rating you set to hit that body part, and if you do, you do, and if you don't, you can't take any other actions that turn, so it uses your bonus and your normal action, and you move, because you've got to concentrate
Focus on that
It
bit.
takes your mood as well.
Yeah, I think it was something like that, roughly.
Okay.
So you sacrifice everything to nominate
To nominate.
a specific
Well,
body.
that's pretty fair.
14, do you want to do that?
Yeah, but then that would be the first shot, so yeah.
You moved though.
Oh,
You
okay,
were
yeah.
able to move that?
You can take a normal shot then if you want.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
It might not have been moved, by the way. It was just something along those lines.
Okay.
You
Yeah, I'll say you
sacrifice
can still move, but because you've already shot, we'll say you can't do it this round. 14 hits.
Okay.
It's in its ECAC.
Sweet.
It's -5 in that range.
That is 17 damage. And then Haruka's gonna step
Easy a
back.
new thing.
No.
Yeah, step back behind the door and bonus action make 3 magic stones.
Nice.
That's it.
Your shot rings out, echoing through, and you see it hits it through the torso, coming out the other side, splitting by biomass everywhere as this thing continues to charge forward. Gaia.
So much moving back in.
Guy will resume her position guarding this entry.
And that's it.
We're ready to attack when it gets in range.
Alright. Can you move them 6 squares forward?
Not 20 feet.
60 feet.
60.
Oh,
I did the same thing.
Yeah, you see him screeching as he moves forward. And then you guys hear sounds coming up from this way as well. Oh, sorry, this side. Who's next? Björn, you're up, and Thalion, you're on deck.
So I gotta keep on with this spell. I can't do anything else with it.
Okay, that's your turn. Thalion.
You're gonna drop it. We're not gonna do this for 100 turns.
If you hold down,
For 100
no,
turns?
if you manage to barricade us in,
For 100 turns.
For
Then
10
we go out
minutes.
of battle.
For 10 minutes.
yeah, it's 10 minutes. Just take us out of initiative somehow.
Thalion, what are you doing?
Easier said than done.
Alright, I'm
You
gonna
got
stand
$4.
up. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Yes, perfect. Alright, I'm gonna stand up. My trident. I'm
Yep.
gonna throw it at it.
Go ahead, big boy.
So intense.
Where'd Haruka go? He's dead? Gets dragged off and then dies.
13.
13 as in its EC.
Yeah. Damn it. Okay, so I do 1 force damage. And then
Shrugs it off.
the second one, oh my gosh. 6.
Takes 1 point of damage as you're throwing it, your trident.
Yeah.
As it just glances past its head. A flesh wound as it keeps charging forward. Anything else?
Alright, so it's half my move to stand up, is it?
Yep. Dre, you're on deck.
20. I'm gonna put this up here.
Done?
Yeah.
Dre,
Try and
you're
get
up.
the door.
Oh,
It's a close for us
ooh, actually.
They're gonna.
Yeah.
Sorry, as a bonus.
You can cut off limbs, dude. That's how you hold yourself in. You're not going to be able to take them all on.
No, we're not.
Yeah, that's it, so.
Alright, Dre.
Joyce
Carla,
is
you're on deck.
Going to go to the
Please,
front
I'll focus.
and put her hands on the ground and... Question, if it's a 20-foot cube, technically if this is 10, then like, could it go on the sides if I'm summoning something?
Yeah, so it's only 5 across, so
Okay,
it
cool.
would go.
Or sides?
Yeah, it wouldn't reach the roof, but yeah, it'd go on the sides.
Okay.
This is a 5.
It's 5 across.
5 across.
So if it's 20 though, like
it won't fit.
Like 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, but it wouldn't go all the way to the roof, so it'd be like 5, 10, 15 ish.
So a 20-foot cube is 4 squares
Yeah.
wide by 4 squares high.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yep.
So what?
It wouldn't fit.
Okay, but
Does it have to be 20 feet size or up to 20 foot?
a 20-foot cube, but it's Earth, erupting Earth.
Oh, yeah,
you'll
that's
be able
right.
to use that.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you're not
But would it
summoning
go on the roof?
Yeah.
It'll go 20 feet high, so
Yeah.
how high is the roof?
I said about 25.
Okay, so Drea is going to put her hands on the ground and summon erupting Earth right here to kind of
Nice.
Nice.
All right, you put your hands down. How are you doing it? Where? Here?
Yeah, she just like is on the ground with her hand and she's not screaming, she's just like, and he has to make a dex save.
Powering up.
He rolled a natural 3, and I'm guessing he's going to fail.
Yep, so he takes 3d12 bludgeoning damage.
Woo!
And
Nice.
each square takes 1 minute to clear.
Nice.
Holy shit.
So
Okay.
10,
Nice.
10, is that a 9 or a 6? That's a 9.
That's a 9.
19, 23.
You did it more once.
Yeah.
So Drea screams or doesn't scream, I can't remember what she said, but she puts her hands to the floor and you just see her energy pulsating through her arms, and then there's a rush of earth as it moves towards him before crushing up, cutting him off sight and almost reaching to the ceiling.
What level was that?
Third.
Anything else?
Nice.
Alright, Kylie, you're up.
And how much damage, sorry? Did you say?
23.
Is there anything I can do to help barricade these doors? Is there anything I can see that would?
There's nothing really in the room to use, and the bulkheads open up like this. But maybe trying to disable the button, will cause him to lock down, or
Disabling the button. There's a button on
on the other side as well. Yeah.
Try and cantilever it so it can't open like this one, so it's. You know what I mean?
Do you have rope on you guys? Do you?
Oh, dead bodies on the good.
I do have rope.
You could always try tying both the doors together. They would have like manual handles on both bulkheads that you could,
Okay, I'm gonna
loop with the rope.
I'm gonna do that to one of the doors.
All right, cool. Take your action to pull out some rope and tie it on and loop them together to try and keep them tight.
Yep.
Anything else?
Bonus action. I take it I can't see this guy anymore, right?
No.
No.
All right.
Which door did you go to?
I can't do it to this door because it's open, so I'll just do it to.
And you'll leave us out there.
Sorry.
And you
yeah.
will leave us out there.
I'll do it
Yeah,
to
you heard noise coming from this side.
Then I'll do it to this door.
Round ends and this door closes. Haruka, you're up. Last you see is Gaia and Thalene out there, and this wall of earth before one claw just comes up at the top.
At the top of the.
The mound, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Haruka's. Wait, so Gaia and Thalia are outside?
Yep, and the door's closed.
Shoot, when did that happen? I guess Haruka's just gonna smash the button.
It'll fully open at the end of the round. You could probably squeeze yourself through using half your movement.
Stay in there, like guys fighting outside.
Yeah. He's gonna put his head out and say, Thalia, get in! And then he's going to, for his action, he's gonna try and hold the door so it doesn't open fully, and there's just enough space for Thalia to sneak in. He doesn't want it to fully open because they'll have to be closed in.
Sorry, going back to yours, because it's a 20-foot cube, I would say you can, because you're only going 5 feet across, you can make it all the way to the roof.
Okay, cool. Can it be like,
So that thing is all the way.
because it's turned earth and stone, can it be like from, not like it comes up from the bottom and then the side to side from the thing? So it's almost like a door kind of thing?
Yeah, nice.
And it takes a minute to, 5 feet is 1 minute to clear, just saying. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
what do you guys glad on me?
And that's gonna be my turn.
Alright, so doors opening back up. Gaia.
Alright, slip through the door.
Okay. So you use half of movement because it's half harder. Just oh no, Gaia would be able to make it through. She's small enough. Where do you want her?
Just on the inside of the door.
Yep, in the corner or something.
Yep. Is there still an arm coming through here?
On that? No, sorry, I'm saying the walls all the way up.
Okay, so it's not just start, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, she goes in and sniffs to see where there's potentially somebody else coming, but do a perception check.
Behind her, yep, do a perception check with advantage if she's doing spell. Keep in mind you would have already heard the noise from this side.
Well, so that still works out, so I'll do this one.
Okay. She can smell one.
My bad. 13.
Okay, she can smell one right outside the door.
Any others?
No, not with that roll.
Alright, so she'll go to that door. And she'll start growling at it as an indicator that there's one coming here.
Alright, anything else?
If I could ready an action to attack if something comes through, that'd be good as well. If I can match up with the perception.
I'm going to say you're too busy doing your spell if you're continuing to do that.
Oh, Bjorn? Yeah, Bjorn's...
Oh, yeah, with Gaia. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, Bjorn, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, can I do anything? Other than keep going?
No.
That's not keep going.
Alright. You guys all hear scraping on like a chalkboard before goosh, the door is attacked with 2 horrendous blows. It shakes and it rattles, but nothing pierces through as this thing screeches in anger and continues to swipe at it. Darlene, you're up.
Alright, seeing that this thing's not coming through, I'm going to go 10, 20, 30. Yeah, I'm just going to stand next to Gaia. And I'm going to ready an attack action if this thing comes through. Oh, could I make it through halfway open?
Yeah, it takes half your movement though, because you gotta squeeze yourself through.
Oh, okay. Alright, so I'll probably only be able to stand here then. Oh, wait, is this... Yeah, there's a square between the door and this door there. Alright, I'm there.
Alright, anything else?
That's it.
Dre, you're up. Can you just count the rounds of your thing?
It just says it counts as like difficult terrain.
And it lasts for...
It's just
1 minute.
difficult terrain.
1 minute if they want to clear it.
Okay,
It's
no worries.
It's not a
Yeah.
concentration.
Drea, is just gonna go up to this door as well and ready herself.
Alright, anything else? Carla?
I was just gonna ready in action. Firebolt.
On what? Yeah, what action are you wearing? And what's the trigger?
If I see any limbs coming through the doors.
Yep.
Mine's a cantrip. It's primal savagery, so she's just gonna stand next to the door and have like her hand there, and as soon as something comes in, she wants to.
Attack it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Alright, Haruka, you're up.
So was I able to like close the door last time?
You just opened it.
Okay, but I was trying to hold it so it wouldn't open the full way.
Oh, sorry, did you say that? I didn't realise.
Or would it just...
Make a strength check if you want.
Okay. 12.
Okay, you just managed to hold it enough that it, like a elevator door where it gets stuck and then it resets and closes.
Yeah.
And opens halfway and then closes.
Alright, so I still have my action and stuff this time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Harakai is going to, if he can, make his way to the door over there.
Yep. Where?
And,
This one?
Mm-hmm.
So you can stand here.
yeah.
Who's this for? This is for you.
Yeah.
Oops. Yep.
And then when he gets there, he's going to have the 3 magic stones that he grabbed, and he's going to take some rope and his python, which is like a thing you hammer into cliffs to hang.
Yep.
And he's going to set it up to try and make almost like a tripwire, and I want it to activate the magic stones to fall when something passes through.
That is very cool. That is a point of inspiration for being smart.
Thank you.
Alright, so it takes your action to set that up. And so as soon as anything passes through that door, they will drop, yeah?
Yeah, all 3.
All 3?
Yeah, who managed to escape comes back and it just...
And then that's it for my turn.
Alright, Gaia.
Back to Gaia. Oh, alright. I'll do another sniff. See if there's any others. Getting a 18.
Alright, she sharply turns her head from the door, up at the vent above you guys, and starts growling. Before you guys hear...
Alright, wait. Is anyone noticing that she's growling at the vent above? Feel like...
Everyone make a quick perception check.
Who's close to it?
18.
Anyone over 10 notices?
No.
Alright,
I got a 3.
I notice.
Alright, and then she's ready another attack. And then she sees something.
And she sees something crushing through. Who's this? This is Jed.
Oh, it just goes. Oh, wait, through the vent. Yeah.
That's Jed, isn't it?
That's true.
She sees something crushing straight through and falls on top of Jed. Make your attack. As this thing crashes through the vents, and you guys just hear a wet sound as it just falls on top of Jed, who's screaming inside of his helmet, and you just see his pistol go off.
Alright, she gets advantage to the pack tactics. Now it's within 5 feet of it, which it would be. And. What is it? What's this shit? I'm getting a dirty 20 to hit.
Hit.
Getting 6 piercing damage and 1 lightning damage. And then she'll go for a second attack. Oh wait, creature still DC 13, pass the DC 13 strength save.
Pass.
Okay. Second attack. Attack tactics rolls twice. Getting a 15.
Hits in its AC.
10 points of piercing and 3 lightning. Is the piercing doubled or?
No, not piercing. So -5 to that.
Oh, sorry, no. That was a slash because she does bite and claws. So
Slashing is doubled.
Nice.
Yeah, so that would have been 20 on the slashing and then 3 lightning.
As Harakai sees it moving through the vents, he's just going to shout,
Sorry, it's a 20
block the vents!
Or is that whole amount half?
Whole amount, -5 though.
Yeah, he's just going to say, puncture the vents! And that's it.
Okay. So this thing drops down, and as soon as it drops, it gets does she have to make another saving throw?
What for?
The
Oh,
creature?
No, it's only on the bite.
It immediately drops Jed, and just starts swiping all around it. Who's this? That's Bjorn. Makes one attack against you.
I mean, I wasn't moving beyond, but he would be on the perimeter of this room.
Okay.
Moving around, so I don't know.
Okay,
which
attack
roughly
against-
what him-
Yeah, put him where you think he would be.
I don't- it's been running around the room for 10 minutes, so I'm not too sure.
Okay, well she would attack you there anyway. So
Gee.
I mean it. 18 to hit.
Yeah, that's.
Alright, and you take 7 points of damage, piercing damage, and then second attack goes onto Gaia. Getting over a 20 to hit, taking 9 points of piercing damage, and then it goes down, and it goes in for a bite on Jed, who's prone, so he gets advantage, and completely fucks that up. So Jed, it goes down, and he puts his sword up just in time, and he just catches it the mouth as this tongue is like licking at his helmet, and this thing's just trying to bite at his throat. He's got his cutlass between it and him, and he's just screaming, "Harakai!"
interrupted.
Make a. What's the saving throw for concentration spells?
Concentration save. Sorry.
Make one of those.
Is it a concentration save?
Yeah. I would say it's the same thing.
Will I get advantage on concentration save?
Go ahead. So the DC would be what's it? 10.
Come on, probably so bad. I think I'm both on the 10, so we'll fail.
You're knocked against the wall. As you see the runes disappear in a puff of smoke. As a spell has to be reset from the start.
Oh no. How much time had passed?
2 rounds, so
30
what's that?
seconds?
2 minutes? Each round is a minute, right?
No.
Seconds.
No.
Each round is 10 seconds. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
No, a round is a minute.
Yeah, it is a minute, isn't it? Because
No.
each turn is 6
A
seconds.
round.
A turn is 6 seconds. A
10.
round is a minute.
10 rounds is a minute.
10 rounds is a minute.
A round is 10 seconds.
A round is 10 seconds, yeah, he's right.
How does that make sense though? If
Sorry,
each person
a
is
turn
6 seconds.
is 6 seconds, but if it resets back to the initiative at the
Yeah,
top,
because you've got to remember it's all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
It's 10 seconds for a round, 10 minutes for. Sorry, a minute is 10 rounds. 10 seconds.
I thought it
is
was a
turn.
minute as well. But anyway, doesn't matter. Because it's back to the start. And Björn, it is your turn.
I'm not first.
No, sorry, like the spell has to start from the start. But it's your turn after this creature.
Fuck, I'll pull out my weapons and attack this piece of shit. Sorry. Is it trapped? Flanking? Whatever we call it.
It's on top of Jed. And yeah, it is with Kyla.
Alright. And smash it with a giving a good roll over 27.
Hits.
What the hell is mine?
That in your honor. Yeah, you're on deck.
Getting 9 points of slashing,
Which is doubled.
plus 1 necrotic and 1 lightning.
So 20 all up.
But only the slashing is doubled.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to go in for a second attack, and I'm going to boom blade this one.
You dirty dog, you.
Yeah?
Said you dirty dog.
Getting over 20 again for the hit.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, getting a. Holy shit. Getting 11 points of slashing.
Yep.
Um,
So 22.
sorry. Oh no, I did alright. 2 points of thunder, 4 lightning, and 3 necrotic.
Holy shit.
Nice. How much necrotic, sorry? 2 necrotic.
3 necrotic. 3 necrotic.
Yeah.
And it can't move from that area. Oh wait, like a light comes around it, and if it, yeah, the booming blade effect.
Yep, got it.
It'll play.
Alright. The rest of you guys, you hear another 2
Oh, wait,
hits.
bonus. I could with my bonus action. Okay. So hopefully, 50 is clear. Like,
Yep.
With it.
Yeah,
With it
we-
real good.
John's angry.
Meanwhile, while that's happening, there's 2 attacks against the door.
24.
24 hits.
Okay, 5 points of slashing and 3 lightning. And a 4th attack because of your ultimate rolls.
Oh, nice.
That's probably the other shit I could do, but I forgot.
Yeah.
What's the ultimate?
Right, please.
Yeah.
It gives you 4 attacks.
6 points of slashing. And 1 point of lightning.
That's it?
That's it.
Are you sure?
Well, I can't remember all the shit I could do,
That's
so
okay.
that's probably
Well, I have to-
that's gonna be it.
I've never really given a good route because
Alright.
nothing applies.
So,
I had nothing against
the rest of you guys, you hear 2 hits against the door, with the second one piercing through. and you just see the metal tear, push back. It's almost like a can opener as this thing just punctures through. And it's probably going to withstand about another 2 more hits before this door is down. The limb goes far enough in that anyone who's ready in action can make an attack.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Drea is going to do her action on Primal Savagery, so he has to.
Kyle's gonna release his firebolt.
Go ahead.
16. I got natural. I got 1 on my first roll and 16 on the second.
It's a glancing blow.
A 24 to hit.
Yep.
A 15 to hit.
Yep, in its AC.
Where's the D10? Is it a D10?
Yep, it is a roll.
Is that a 10?
12.
Alright, that's a percentile dice. No problem.
But I was in his AC, so. Oh, wait, that's right. AC's pretty good.
So Drea, as she sees a limb, she's just gonna grab it, and her hands have claws on them that are dripping with acid,
Mm-hmm.
and she's literally trying to like yank it down so it breaks.
Holy
with
crap.
her claws
How
in
much
it, if that makes sense.
Holy cow.
What'd you get? What'd you roll for your hit?
24.
Alright, Drea grabs it, digging her claws in, pulling the arm through, and then what'd you get?
12.
12, which is in its EC,
Oh no, sorry, I got 15 to hit. 12
Yeah,
damage.
which is in damage, and then what'd you get?
Bonus EC, so I did 8 damage. I
Alright,
did
so she
16
pulls
and
it
a half,
through
so-
before you blast it with fire, and then you can hear the tearing of the limb before Thalion comes through with your glaive, your trident, and finishes it off, ripping one of its arms off. It permanently loses an attack.
Oh,
Oh
Nice.
dear.
As this thing just falls wetly to the
How much
ground,
damage did you do?
it's
it's
spilling
acid damage.
biomass everywhere.
Sorry, I got 1 level of
Oh, not
exhaustion.
8, sorry. I meant 12.
All my rolls were over 20.
Yeah, so minus
It's
1 to your
12,
attack
not
roll.
8, sorry.
Just 1, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have been fine.
Yeah. Alright, Thalion, you're up.
Alright, I'm actually gonna step over to this door. And I want to open it. Sorry, can I do a perception check first?
Yep.
no, it's just minus 1. Everyone checks every day.
16?
16,
So I see if I can hear anything on the other side or...
not at the
There's
moment.
also the vent. Just saying.
yeah.
Is that from the
Is that a bonus to open it? Or-
Mhm.
Yeah, alright, I'm going to hit the button to open it.
A spray of aether gas spits out as this thing opens up halfway.
And then I want to turn around and attack the one that's on... Oh, actually, it's on top of Jed, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Can I use a strength-based thing to try and see if I can lift it off of him?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe pin him against the other door or something?
What other door?
This door?
Okay, yep, go ahead. It'll contest you. Ooh, that was a bad roll.
23?
Yep. Alright, so you grab it, pulling her off Jed, throwing it against the bulkhead. What do you want to do?
What can I do? Is that my whole action to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, but can I say I'm grappling it against the door?
Okay, yep. That's it.
That's it.
Alright, move from its square. Alright, yep, okay, yep. Alright, who is next? We have Dre Stone, and then Kylie, you're on deck.
I'm next.
Yep.
This one's being grappled by Thalion.
Mm-hmm.
Drea would like to go up. And
The hole's big enough, by the way, in the door that you guys can attack through it.
oh, we can?
Yeah, it'll be in cover, so it'll give it +2 to its AC, but you can attack through it if you like.
Yeah, Drea would like to attack it with her thorn whip. Getting a 19.
19 hits.
Cool. 6. That is 7 damage, but if it's large or small, you can pull the creature up to 10 feet closer to you.
Do you want to do it?
So, like, someone else can attack it.
Wait, you could slam it into the door, right? Like if she
Oh, yeah.
grips it and then pulls it into the door.
And then close the door
Yeah,
on its
cool.
body.
Yeah, the door isn't open.
Closed.
Yeah, but I
Um,
mean like.
Yeah, just pull it through. Yeah, yep, okay.
Yeah, so
What-
Drea is just gonna, like, her hand, she whips it out and just, like, thorns And we
Nice.
surround it and just.
Alright, roll an extra d4 in your damage.
Nice.
Nice,
That's
mate.
cool. Nice.
Thank you. A 4.
Oh,
Nice.
The thorns wrap around it as it pulls the creature. She pulls with all her little weight that she's got, and you just hear it slamming against the sharp shards of the door. And the whole door rattles as this thing screeches as Drea's whip comes through, all covered in blood and biomass. Anything else?
No.
Kyla, you're up.
Actually, it's not just the door.
Are you trying to kick him out the room?
I was just trying to get him off the jet.
If I open up that door.
Quick.
Yeah, Kyla's going to cast Mage Hand, and he's gonna, with Mage Hand, he's gonna hit the button to open up that door.
So both these doors are opening.
Why is that one open?
Newt opened it. Anything else?
As a bonus action, can I don't know, what was it, do like an investigation check on these guys?
To find out.
To find out
Something?
anything useful.
Alright,
Unless we already know everything.
go ahead.
Investigation, 12.
Okay, in the horror and the heat at the moment, the only thing you can discern is taking off their limbs is a good thing. Like, this thing has lost an attack, and it's got plenty of other limbs. Like, slow. It's obviously super fast. So you could slow it down, and you can reduce its attacks.
Is the one that we were hacking at in the middle, the one that's being grappled, is it lost a limb? Is it
No.
bloodied? Is it like with Jay's check?
It is close to being bloodied.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, she's clear. That's my turn.
All right, Haruka, you're up.
Alright, so
This door open now? End of the round?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll open them now.
Alright, so the whole time this has been happening, Haruka's kind of been barking out orders. So he's gonna be like, Drea, Kyla, get this door. Stallion, try and get that one out. And then he's gonna say, Bjorn, we really need that room. And then he's going to bonus action cast Sanctuary on Bjorn. So he's gonna roll 4 orbs that surround you, and they light up with like blue energy, and almost a barrier like surrounds you.
That's cool.
And then with his action, he's going to pull out Gammaraz, and he's going to. Do I get advantage or something if it's grappled?
I'm not sure. Do you have to grapple?
Yeah,
it
it's
first?
restrained, so you get becomes 0. Attack rolls have advantage against that creature, and it has disadvantage on dex saving throws.
Alright, cool. I'm good. I'm just gonna try and. If I hack off one of its, try to.
Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. Speed becomes 0. Condition ends. Condition also. Okay, so speed just becomes 0. Sorry.
Okay. Well, as it's flaming about, I'm gonna try and chop off one of its arms.
Go ahead.
Okay? So does that take both my attacks? Is that how that works?
Yeah, both your attacks, and for good role playing and barking out commands, I'm going to say the whole group has 1
Nice.
inspiration to use as they wish.
What can we do with that again?
Real
Is it anything additional for the team? Or is it just anyone can use it?
Not for now, anyone just can use it.
So that is a 24.
Hit.
Okay, is it chaos?
Is it chaos? No, it is
It
not.
doesn't?
What are you using, Galmaraz?
Gammaraz.
Okay, yeah.
So it's D12 plus.
And which limb are you hacking off?
Hacking off one of its arms.
Okay, nice.
So that's a 8 points damage.
and slashing, which is doubled.
Yeah, so
You cleave straight through underneath its armpit, cleaving through the arm as it drops to the ground. This thing doesn't react as it struggles against Stallion, but it permanently loses 1 attack.
awesome. And then if I can, using the rest of my move, I want to try and just give Jed a hand up. I don't know if I can do that.
Yep, help him up.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm just going to say, get him out!
Gaia?
Guy will leap at the other arm.
So, with the last one, I don't know what his total is here. So that's just
Th-
how much
this
damage
one?
he's taken.
This
Yeah.
this one?
Yes, that's how much he's taken. I don't
Oh,
know what his total is.
It's this one up here. There's that one and that one.
Yeah, no, they're the two on the outside, those two.
15.
Yeah, who's the third one?
That's the one that dropped in from the ceiling.
The one that's got him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cole's got him. Yep,
Yeah, so the first one is the guy that's up here. That's the second guy. That's the guy that dropped in.
gotcha.
Oh, I always thought that was the guy.
15?
No, different guys.
15 to hit is in its EC.
Yes, the guy was going for its other arm.
Okay, so that would miss and it would end her turn. So
Oh.
the DC is higher to aim for a specific arm. So if you guys don't know yet, AC is 16.
4 bar.
Oh, I thought it was
First
40.
level spell.
14 was in its EC AC.
That's it.
Alright. So the one in there struggling against Thalion, it's going to try and throw you off. So strength check.
Does it have disadvantage?
It does have disadvantage. Yep. So you roll yours.
15 minus 1, because I'm exhausted, 14.
Okay. It does not throw you off. Do you want to use this opportunity as it struggles against you to push it out?
Yes.
Okay. You push it out, just beyond the door. Yeah, and it's on there. Bjorn, you're up.
It's just out the door.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna take 2 steps forward and hit the button to close it. Tanya's still in, right?
Yep.
Yep. So I'm gonna hit the button to close the door. And as it's. That's just a bonus action, right?
Yep.
And as it's closing, I'm gonna mind sliver it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, can I just say...
I'm just gonna. Put some mind spikes.
Give him the waffle.
Getting a. Something.
Against AC hits. Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's not spell attack. Idiot.
Yeah, I thought.
Sorry, my bad.
What does it have to do?
Intelligence saving throw.
Well, and a natural 19 is what I rolled. Yeah.
Alright, so it succeeds, takes half damage, which is 4. Right, the half damage is 4. And it doesn't get disadvantage on 16.
Okay, and in response, you just hear like a high-pitched buzzing in your ears. First of all, you take 1 point of
I
damage.
just want to say, I deliberately wanted to access its thoughts to see potentially if I could get into the hive mind and see what Dario is.
Oh, that's
And
so
you see
smart.
Dario being dragged through. You just hear him screaming as he's dragged through this tunnel, and just before the connection closes off, you see it busting through a vent. That's a vent that's already open, and it's like high up, and below it you just see hundreds of dwarves encircling a black obelisk, and their hands up are in the air,
Oh shit.
and it cuts off.
Alright, I take 1 point of damage. Alright, I'll stumble back. And
Your ears are like ringing.
I'll put my head in my hands and then just try and sort of regain my focus so I can start with the tiny fight again next time.
Nice. That's it?
Yep.
All
Just
right.
1 point of damage for that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. On the door, a single attack is made. It busts through, and it is big enough for it now to crawl through next turn and squeeze through. That's its only attack. Thalion, you're up.
Alright. Can I look down this hole? Do I see anything?
You don't see anything directly down the hole, but 100 feet there's a T section. But those 100 feet are clear.
Alright. Can I grab this one? and I want to try and, as the door's closing, sort of pull him in to where the jam is, so the door closes onto it.
Okay. Make another strength test. Where do you want to grab it from? Like, where do you want to cut it? On the head? In the middle?
Yeah, through the middle. So I'm going to try and grab both of his arms and sort of wrestle it in and put it against the wall. Oh,
It's normal. It's got 4 arms, so but one normal human arm or dwarf arm. All right, strength thing with disadvantage.
22.
You are strong, mate. All right, you hit the button to close the door.
Yeah, on my turn.
All right, you're struggling with it for the round. At the end of the round, you'll have it there.
Yes.
As you pull it forward with its one pincer, it hits on like the other side of the wall, trying to push out from you.
So I'm fighting
As
with
you're-
that. Punch it in the face and pull it back in.
And it like hisses at you before it puts it at the top, digging in its legs, trying to push back, but you're easily like pushing it forward as the bolt has slow and starts closing. Dre, you're up.
As I see this one, as a bonus action, I want to like press the button, but am I close enough to grab its arm?
You first of all, the door's roped shut, so it won't be able to open because Carla roped it shut. But it's busted through that it can like the hole's big enough for it to move through next turn. You know what I mean?
Then I'm just gonna use.
But you are close enough to like reach through and grab it if you want to touch it.
No, I'm just gonna use my thing again.
Wasn't it though like an elevator you said like that if it can't close it reverses?
Yeah, but either way it's like roped. So there's 2 bulkheads and he's roped them together. So if it can't open, it's like it can't close either because it's very close.
I'm more leaning on this side.
Oh, against this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it will do some damage. Like Haruka is holding like the bottom end of the handle, like keeping it from closing. But if something's in between it, it'll crush it.
9.
9 to hit, misses.
Okay.
As it pulls its it just jumps out of the way. Your thorn whip goes through. Anything else?
I'm just gonna take my axe out.
All right, Carlo, you're up.
Um,
Meanwhile, Jed's shot his pistol like 3 times, and like every time there's a gap in the door, he tries to take a shot.
He's so cool. They grew up so fast.
Kyle's gonna cast another cantrip through that hole.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty bad. 10. Miss.
It dodges
sorry,
out the way.
11. That's
Dodges out the way. When you cast Fireball,
Fireball.
yep, streams through as it dodges out the way. As you guys all hear a wet, squelching sound as you turn around and you just see Thalian fall back with half the body of this thing on the floor as it shakes and twists before it goes limp. And the door is just covered with muck and shit.
What limbs are landed inside?
The head, 1 and 2 normal human arms, as the other one gets like crushed and pinched through the door, and the weird twisted pulled head.
Oh, well.
No, just ignore that. Haruka, you're up.
Oh shoot. Is that door closing? That back door?
This one? Oh no, this one's open.
Okay.
No one's closed this one.
Our guy's gonna use movement. Runs the button. Smash that.
Everyone's just
I
open
opened
closing
it,
doors.
Yeah, I opened it just so we get a better view if anything is coming.
But they can just get in easier, and I think we'd be able to hear them for that. And he's going to use the rest of his movement to try and get up to the door where the new guy is.
10, 20, 30. Yep.
Thing is, if we eliminate these ones and we're quiet enough, then maybe more others will.
Guy is in this square, so you could go back to your original square. How much movement do you have?
I have 40 at the moment.
So 10, 20, 30, 40. Yep.
Okay. If I can, I don't know if this will work, but I want to pull out my pavis,
Mhm.
and as an action, I want to basically plug the hole and deploy it over the tripwire, and then I'm going to kind of brace myself against it so that I can just add some extra support.
Nice. So you're blocking up the hole and putting yourself up against it.
Yeah.
Very
With
smart.
the
Yep.
shield in there.
Yep.
And then,
Awesome.
attack.
All right. Gaia.
Okay, so on this side, like I will actually do a perception check.
Yep.
First. Getting good. 23.
23. Nothing within 100 feet if you guys accept that one.
Okay. And just what's going on here? So it's except for this one. Did you say?
The one that's like there.
Yep. So this is half open and it's reaching through.
No, the door's closed
Yeah.
because it's roped tight. There's been a hole punctured through it, and this thing was trying to climb through. But Harikai's got his pavis up, and he's plugged the hole essentially, and he's like pushed up against it.
As he's pushed up against it, he's gonna say, "Bjorn, that would be really good."
Yeah, but the guy's just gonna stand there ready to bite at anything that comes through.
Easy.
Right?
All right.
And Bjorn, is Bjorn next?
Yep. Bjorn's next.
Oh, okay. So Bjorn will start casting Tiny Hut again.
Yep. All right. Strength check from you.
Okay, I'm actually going to use my reaction to use my shield's infusion. So when it attacks it, as a reaction, I can push it 10 feet back. So.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Wait, I need to get up the actual thing. And push the attacker 15 feet away.
Straight away.
Yeah, no save.
All right. You just there's like it slows down as you just wait for the attack, and as soon as you feel it, you activate it, pushing yourself up against the door, and you just feel the weight of it shift as this thing blasts 15 feet back, tumbling as it's like a weird mix of limbs and head and extra body parts before you. Like move your shield to look, and it just screeches at you before going with one of its arms, crawls back up and goes into the vent and goes away from you.
Okay, well, as Harika is doing it, he was leaned up on his back and he looks at Kylo and Drea. He's like, alright, 3, 2, 1, and then activates it.
And then you guys going, seeing it crawl up and disappear down the vent. And you see one of its pincers pierce the vent up here before it takes a right and disappears.
Oh,
And that is where we'll take a quick break.
Fuck me!
Oh shit.
What the shit?
Everything that could have went wrong.
Yeah.
Can you hit the lights, John?
That was a cool fight.
These things are
That was
so
hard, yeah, because it was
creepy.
close.
Hey guys, my name's Cody, also known as Dario. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a like and your comment from your favourite moment from today. And remember, as always, spread the mythic word.